swear, every time we think that Will and Jada Smith's relationship couldn't possibly be any wilder, something crazy happens that shows just how messed up their relationship is. Will's old friend Nia Long has gotten sick and tired of watching from the sidelines, and she is now spilling all the tea about how much Jada has changed Will, and not for the better. Nia came hard, and I just know Jada is hella mad. Ooh, child, let's get into it. At this point, unless you've been under a rock for the past couple of years, you know that Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith have gone from being couple goals to being exposed for having one of the weirdest and messiest marriages in Hollywood. It's wild how they went from being celebrated for having one of the longest marriages in Hollywood to saying stuff like this.
We ride together,
we die together.
Bad marriage for life.
Talk about a fall from grace. And don't even get me started on the memes that started flying around on the internet after that red table. He got clowned on the internet for weeks, and he still gets clowned once in a while on social media. But it was around the time that people started noticing something weird about Will, and that's the fact that he has changed so much in the past couple of years that he seems like a whole different person now, and we only started noticing after his marriage crashed. For one, Will always seemed to be that guy who was protective of his family and built himself an image as a family guy. The next thing we knew, he was giving his son's friend permission to have an affair with his wife.
I actually sat down with Will and had a conversation. He gave me his blessing, and I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life.
While this was the point where people had figured out how much Will had changed, it had been going on for years, as far back as the 90s when he met Jada. One of the first ways being with Jada changed Will was him losing his self-confidence. Jada was besties with Tupac, who was already a superstar when she started dating Will. And even though Will was also famous and was doing well on his own, I gotta be fair and say that he was not on Tupac's level yet at this time. And he felt super insecure and jealous about Tupac and Jada. His insecurity went so deep that he couldn't even bring himself to be friends with Tupac, even though they often spent time together, and it's been years since Tupac passed. R.I.P. Will still hasn't completely gotten over this insecurity, and it doesn't help that you can't compete with someone who has such a legacy and is no longer here to compete with.
Were you ever jealous of the love Jada had for Tupac?
Oh, fuck yeah. She just loved him like he was the image of perfection, but she was with the Fresh Prince, you know, so it was like, I never could, like, even we were in a room together a couple times, I couldn't speak to him, you know.
Before y'all judge him for having beef with a dead man, I can't really say I blame him, because it's pretty obvious that Jada has never let him forget about Tupac. Because honestly, I think Jada has never really gotten over him. His name is obviously mentioned a lot in their home, because when their daughter Willow was only 11 years old, she wrote a letter to Tupac begging him to come back and make her mommy happy again. She wrote, "Dear Tupac, I know you are alive and someplace. I think that my mommy really misses you. Can you please come back? Can you come back so mommy and me can be happy? I wish you were here. I really do. Love, Willow." Can you imagine your daughter writing a letter to someone you consider to be your competitor? And not only that, she was begging him to come and make your wife happy? Honestly, are we even surprised that Will has changed? Because this is more than enough to break a fully grown man. And y'all want to know what the wildest part of this is? It's the fact that Will was actually trying his best to make Jada happy, but Jada kept paying him dust and didn't appreciate what he was trying to do for her. For example, when Jada was in her late 30s, she experienced a midlife crisis, and Will tried to make her feel better by throwing her the perfect 40th birthday party. So he spent 3 whole years planning the party. And at the end of the day, Jada couldn't care less.
The day after her 37th birthday, I hired a team to orchestrate her 40th birthday. I had hired a documentary team. I traced mommy's family roots. Her 40th birthday was going to be my thing. It was going to be the thing that lifted her out of this midlife crisis, and it was going to be my deepest, most beautiful proclamation of love. And she's told me that the party was the most ridiculous display of my ego.
I don't know about y'all, but I would have thrown hands if someone had said that to me after I put in so much effort and care into making sure that they felt better. But somehow that's still not all, because Jada has been putting Will through a whole lot when it comes to their marriage. And don't even get me started on her Red Table Talk show, where she stays embarrassing Will all the time and spilling some family tea. Girl, he is a legend. You cannot. Like the time she admitted that she didn't want to marry Will and cried when her mother forced her to.
I really didn't want to get married, but...
We only got married because Gammy was crying.
Well, Gammy, this is what happened. It was almost as if Gammy was like, you have to get married, so let's talk about the wedding. It was almost like that.
Like she completely just was like, that's not a reality where you're not married.
I was under so much pressure, you know, being a young actress, being young, and I was just like pregnant. And I was just like, I didn't know what to do.
What? And somehow that wasn't the last time she embarrassed Will on the show, because there's that time where she pretty much admitted that Will doesn't even satisfy her in the bedroom.
Right. What you need, tell me what you want, and on top of it, I know that I have to be accountable to do the same.
And do you?
I really try.
Child, close your mouth. Don't you dare. Also, can we talk about how Jada sometimes treats him so badly? Like the time she outrightly insulted him after he politely asked her to stop recording him. She then posted the video online for the world to see.
Would you say she has been instrumental in you and I redefining our relationship?
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me.
Oh my goodness.
If you could film me.
Astaire, come help us again, please.
I'm still dealing with foolishness.
Because she don't just...
Sometimes I just want to give that man a hug. I ain't lying. That was just plain disrespectful. And she is willing to show this to the world. Then we just have to wonder what on earth is going on behind closed doors. Oh, and then there's the messy Oscars drama that took place last year and how it almost ruined Will's career. Chris Rock made a joke about Jada's alopecia.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Will then went on stage and smacked the living daylights out of Chris Rock.
Oh, wow. Wow.
As people pointed out, Will found the joke funny and even laughed about it in the beginning, but Jada was clearly not happy about it, and people believe that this is the reason Will slapped Chris. He got a lot of backlash and got dragged for days on social media. That's not all, because he got banned from the Oscars as well. All Oscar-related events for 10 years, and also had to resign from the Academy. Jada did not play the role of a supportive wife because all she did at first was write, "This is a season for healing, and I'm here for it." What? And as if that's not enough, she went on to the Red Table Talk and pretty much asked Will and Chris Rock to get over themselves and hug it out.
My deepest hope is that these two intelligent, capable men have an opportunity to heal, talk this out, and reconcile.
Child, it's the audacity for me though. Like I said earlier, it's not really difficult to understand why and how Will has changed so much, because it's impossible to stay the same under the conditions that she has been living in for years. And Nia Long is now pretty much confirming just how much Jada has changed Will. For those who don't know, Nia Long and Will go way back to the 90s when they worked on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air together. Nia pointed out how different Will has become, saying, "I just remember Will was this energetic, goofy, funny guy that was obsessed with playing golf and sneakers, and he was just the happiest person. He was like Disneyland." She continued, "Will Smith was like Disneyland during The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I love him and I will always love him. And he's had an incredible career, and he's carried a burden for many years to try to represent what perfection looks like or achievement looks like. And I don't think that, at least when we're growing up, there was room to be human. And I think he's now able to be human." She pretty much admitted that he is no longer the goofy and funny person he used to be when they worked together. Now, we can't say for sure that Nia meant Jada when she said this burden of perfection. She could have just been talking about Will and his obsessiveness with being perfect. However, it's pretty obvious that having a wife with Jada's attitude can add to that burden. Someone commented, "Remember when Will Smith was genuinely the coolest actor in the world? It seems so long ago, LOL. He had no idea when those delivery men drove him up to the house with Jada Jada's new red table, how much his image would be changed, LOL. Another person said, Jada has definitely changed how we look at Will Smith. She did him the same way Game of Thrones did Theon Greyjoy. I used to watch him just living his life on YouTube with so much respect and envy for his attitude. Now I just see a broken man putting on a facade. And this other person tweeted, this is not the Will Smith the public has known. He's changed, and not for the better. I can only blame Jada. So is Will ever going to listen to his fans and find his way out of this toxic marriage? Or is he still happy with Jada? Only time will tell. But while y'all are here, you should check out the insane drama in this next video, cause child, it's your girl Kiki with the hottest tea. Peace.